Welcome to Tales with Ghost King, your podcast for the bizarre, the weird, and the spooky.
Today we will be talking about green boots. This episode takes place in Mount Everest and has a lot of names that I'm probably going to have trouble pronouncing. So, imagine you decide to go on the expedition of a lifetime. You decide to climb Mount Everest, and the worst possible thing happens. You die. But you don't just die. You get left there for years, for all who pass by to see you. Well, not all of you, just your green boots. This is the story of green boots. Green boots is the body of an unidentified climber that was left on the north side of Mount Everest. Though many theories as to who the individual is, none of them are clear or verified. One theory is that green boots could be, and forgive my pronunciation, Taiswan Palshur. He belonged to the Indo-Tibetan Border Police Expedition, or the ITBP. It is said that he died while being a part of the 1996 climbing disaster. He was on the mountain wearing green Koflock mountaineering climbing boots. The green boots could be seen on the north side of Limestone Cave until he was moved in 2014. The cave sits at 8,500 meters, or 27,900 feet. A British filmmaker named Matt Dixon was the first individual to record footage of green boots in May of 1996. His footage was later used in a documentary called Summit Fever. In the film, they described the individual as originating from India. The corpse had been there from 1996 until 2014. It became a landmark on the North Mountain route. David Sharp, a British mountaineer, was found in a hypothermic state, wearing green boots in a cave. The climber who found him was Mark Inglis, along with his climbing party. After radioing for any evidence on how to provide help to Sharp, which could not be provided, he continued to ascend the mountain. Sharp later died after due to the extreme cold. It's estimated that approximately 3 other climbers passed him that day. It's said they just assumed he was green boots and kept moving without paying any attention or mind to the dying man. The green boots were eventually moved to a new location in 2014, most likely by the China-Tibet Mountaineering Association, as they do manage the north side of the mountain. In the 1996 Everest disasters, fatalities on the mountain reached 8 climbers, with 5 of them being from the Mountain Madness and Adventure Consultants expeditions, while the other 3 were from the Indo-Tibet Border Police expedition from India. They were on the northeast route, and this was led by Commandant Mahinder Singh, who was the first Indian to ascend the mountain from the east side. On May 10th, 1996, 3 of the 6 were caught in a blizzard just short of the summit, while the other 3 turned back and headed down the mountain. At 15:45, the 3 individuals radioed back to the expedition leader and confirmed they had arrived at the top. They then left offerings. 2 of the men descended as the 3rd man decided to spend more time with religious ceremonies. After this, there was no radio contact from the group. Although they had seen 2 headlamps, none of them had actually returned to high camp. High camp sits at 8,300 meters, or 27,231 feet. Some think the Japanese climbers had seen the missing Indian climbers and failed to help them. The group left their camp at 6:15 and arrived at the summit at 15:30 on May 11th. They encountered many other climbers on the trail, while not being aware of the missing Indians. At 15:30, they reported seeing an unidentified object at the 2nd step. Below the 1st step, they radioed and reported 1 person on a rope. At this time, they had only had enough oxygen to return to Camp 6. The Japanese party at 1600 discovered from an Indian in their group that 3 men were missing. They then offered to join the rescue party, but they were then declined. The party had to wait due to bad weather. A second rescue party was sent to the summit on May 13th. They discovered several bodies, around the first step but continued to the summit. The Indian expedition blamed the Japanese, who had pledged to help them with the search, but they instead pressed towards the summit. The Japanese continued to deny that they had abandoned or even refused to help the dying climbers on the way up. Later, a captain from the Indian Mountaineering Federation, who had earlier denounced the Japanese, later retracted his claim that the Japanese had reported meeting the Indians on May 10th. Information from Wikipedia states a lesser-known theory, first proposed in 1997 article titled The Indian Ascent of Kuala by the North Ridge. Doss in the Himalayan Journal states that the body was that of Lance Nock Dorje Morup. Doss wrote that 2 climbers had been spotted ascending by the light of their head torches at 1930, although they were soon lost from sight. The next day, the leader of the second summit group of the expedition radioed base camp that they had encountered Morup moving slowly between the first and second steps. Doss wrote that Morup had refused to put on gloves over his frostbitten hands and was finding difficulty in unclipping his safety carabiner at anchor points. According to Doss, the Japanese team assisted in transitioning him to the next stretch of rope. Sometime later, the Japanese group discovered the body of Tuswang Smollett above the second step. On the return trip, the group found that Morup was progressing slowly. Morup is believed to have died in the late afternoon of the 11th of May. A second ITBP group also came across the bodies of Smollett and Morup on their return from the summit. Dawes wrote that they encountered Morup lying under the shelter of a boulder near their line of descent, close to Camp 6, with intact clothing, and his rucksack was by his side. Green Boots is among roughly 200 corpses remaining on Everest by the early 21st century. It is unknown when the term Green Boots entered Everest. Over the years, it became a common term. As all the expeditions from the north side encountered the climber's body curled up in the limestone cave. The cave is littered with oxygen bottles. It is below the first step on the path. Another fallen climber who earned the nickname Sleeping Beauty is Frances Arsentive, who died in 1998 during an unsuccessful descent from Everest after summiting. Her body remained when she fell and was visible until 2007, when it was ceremonially hidden from view. Additional bodies are in Rainbow Valley, an area below the summit, strewn with corpses wearing brightly colored mountaineer apparel. Yet another named corpse is that of Hannelore Schmatz, who with a prominent position on the south route earned the moniker the German Woman. She summited in 1979, but died at 8,200 meters or 26,900 feet altitude during her descent. She remained there for many years, but was eventually blown further down the mountain. And that's the story of Green Boots and all the corpses that remain on Mount Everest. Don't forget to follow and share. Hopefully I didn't butcher those names too bad. We are now available on multiple platforms. Just type in Tales with Ghost King to find us.